It is Saturday, April 30th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
We are back for another edition of our MLB Best Bets. We got another money line pick. We got a run line, I think, and we got a no-run first inning bet coming your guys' way.
As always, if you aren't subscribed, do us a favor and go down and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us grow this channel. You know, we're on the road to like 40K, eventually 100,000. We can't do it without you guys' support. And you've been killing it so far this year. So again, just do Austin and I that favor, and also drop a like on this video. It helps more people see it as well.
100%, Logan. We hit 32,000. This question mark is no longer a question mark. Thank you guys all for the support. Thank you all for hitting that subscribe button. We can't do without you guys. So definitely go hit that subscribe button. Let's do a recap from yesterday. It wasn't a sweep, but boy, oh boy, another profitable day. That makes us 6 straight profitable days, a 10-2 run over the last 4 days. I'll recap officially. We had the Dodgers covering their run line, -1.5. They won by 4. Rockies were looking a little bit sketch, but they came up clutch in the latter half of the game, winning I think 9-1 if that was the final score. And then Juan Soto ends the sweep. We had that no-run first inning bet in that Nationals versus Giants game. Really crushes us, but still, hey, we won't complain about 6 straight profitable days. Hopefully we can move that streak to 7, a full complete week. That would be absolutely insane. Thank you guys all for the support on the channel. Shout out to all our COS All-Stars out there. Thank you all for supporting. We can't do it without you guys. If you want to support us, click the join button on the channel or the link in the description. We appreciate you. I'll shout out all the All-Stars in the next one. As you can see, I'm kind of on the road at the moment. We're in the middle of a hotel room. I got my Michigan shirt. I will be at the Michigan graduation in about 30 minutes. So the grind doesn't stop, but we're going to keep getting into it. Logan, I'm going to throw it to you. Let's get into our first pick of the day, and let's get after it.
Yeah, let's get after it. Yesterday we had a no sweat money line. Let's continue that trend. I'm not issuing an apology, by the way, Reds fans. You guys came after my head in the comments enough, and your team played like poo-poo. So that's what happens. I love you, Reds fans. You do exist, by the way. Shout out you guys. But I'm going to the Mariners versus Marlins game, and I'm taking Mariners money line, -106 odds on FanDuel. And I mean, this game is really interesting because depending on which book you get it at, the Mariners might be a favorite or they might be an underdog. FanDuel, they're an underdog. But if they are a favorite on your book, I got to shout out the trend. Seattle is 7-1 as a favorite. So they'll probably close as a favorite. They're really good as a favorite. And also, it is the battle of the left-handed pitchers today. Miami batting 204 versus left-handed pitchers. Seattle batting 236 versus left-handed pitchers. A slight advantage, Seattle. Last night, it was an absolute shootout, right? Miami's coming into this game with a 6-game winning streak. Seattle coming into this game with a hot 3-game losing streak. Who's gonna, what streak's gonna end, first? Is it gonna continue or is it gonna, change? I say Seattle finally gets back in the win column because they have their ace on the mound, Robbie Ray, my boy Robbie Ray. 2-2 and 6 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. 6 earned run, Robbie Ray, that would be not what I ordered today. He's a better pitcher than that. The collapse type performance. He's erratic sometimes, but that's what you get with Robbie Ray. He's a strikeout specialist. Ray, but surprisingly, Ray hasn't had over 5 strikeouts in a game in 2022 so far. I mean, the Robbie Ray I know last year on the Blue Jays, he was a strikeout specialist, 8, 9, 10 Ks. This year is only 5 strikeouts. Is that worrisome? Yeah, a little bit. But today he has a golden opportunity versus the Marlins. Miami's offense, 29th in strikeouts. That's 9.5 strikeouts per game. So there's only one team worse than them in terms of striking out per game. So Robbie Ray is going to have the opportunity to absolutely be dealing today. I think he will for us. On the other side of the mound, you got Luzardo, 4 and 1 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. I was trying to pull batting splits because I wanted to see how some of the hitters on Seattle did versus Luzardo last time they faced him. He hasn't faced a lot of them, so there's not a whole lot of data there. But in terms of WHIP, he had a high WHIP in that 4 ERA game. But I think Luzardo and Robbie Ray is going to be a really nice pitching duel, kind of a way, different pace of last night when it was a complete shootout. Seattle's offense, I also think, is good enough to get to Luzardo. 9th in runs, 7th in walks, 12th in hits, and 13th in strikeouts. I love being top 10 in runs and walks. That's definitely putting a lot of pressure on the opposing pitcher. And I mean, 13th in strikeouts, better than half. I think not 29th like the Marlins. So I'm asking Seattle's offense, bring the bats today. I think they can get it done for us. I do want to talk about the bullpen too. Slight advantage Seattle. They're 8th in bullpen ERA. Miami, by comparison, is 11th in bullpen ERA. So Mariners in a virtual pick'em, I think they get it done today. I think they snap that 3-game losing streak, and I'm going with them. I love the value on it. But Austin, I know you got I think you got another money line for us today. Is that correct?
That would be correct. I got another money line pick coming your guys' way. I think 3-0 for counting our game picks so far for me on the year. Hopefully I can extend that to 4-0. And we're going with the team that has treated us very nicely, or at least treated me nicely. And that would be the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm taking their money line, minus 130 on DraftKings, taking on the Houston Astros today. Now, good thing they are at home today. But let's be honest, why are we here? It's the bounce back Blue Jays, as I like to call them. They've been making us money the last 2 times. And what does that mean? You're like, what is the bounce back Blue Jays, BBBJ? That makes no sense. Toronto, 7-0 after a loss this season. They lost yesterday. And honestly, they put up 7 runs. They just gave up 10. You aren't going to win a lot of games giving up 10 runs. And I think their pitching bounces back today. They got Barrios on the mound, taking on Luis Garcia. And, when you look at this matchup, you're not necessarily going for a pitching duel. I doubt that's what we get today. The over-under is at 8.5. But it is worth noting, Blue Jays, 4-0 when Barrios starts this season. I won't lie. It's not necessarily his reason that they are 4-0. They're giving him a lot of run support. But look, maybe the players just like hitting for him. I won't complain. Either way, they are 8-2 in their last 10 starts made by Barrios. And he does pitch better at home, which is like I talked about. They're at home today in Toronto. 3.28 home ERA versus 3.8 ERA since the start of last year. He has I think his whip is like 0.98 at home compared to like 1.2 on the road. So I really like him pitching today. Now on the other mound, we're talking about Garcia. He pitched against this Blue Jays team back on April 24th, less than a week ago. Gave up 5 earned runs in 6 innings pitched. Now, the Blue Jays did lose that game, lost 8-7. I don't think they give up 8 runs today. Their bullpen is good enough. I think Barrios can kind of keep them in check. We think about the Blue Jays offense. They are 5th in hits, 15th in runs, 17th in strikeouts. So, middle of the pack, I mean, they're getting the hits up. They just need to knock them in. We look at the Astros offense, which has quietly kind of turned it on as of late. They're 22nd in hits, 17th in runs, and 11th in strikeouts. They are winners of 4 straight games, so we have to note that as well. The Astros are kind of turning it around, but look, this is the Blue Jays, the bounce back Blue Jays, like I like to call them, and I'm going to rely on them to get me another win. This is what they've been doing all season long. We're going to continue to ride with that trend, 7-0 after a loss this season. Haven't lost back-to-back games. So I'm riding with the Blue Jays. Money line minus 130 on DraftKings. But Logan, you know what time it is?
Absolutely, I know what time it is. It's Nerfy Nation. I need those flags out.
I
and we
even
need
traveled
to
to Michigan and brought the flag with me. It's Nerfy Nation time, and Logan will give you guys a couple others that we do like after we give you our official pick, just because this one's juiced. But we're going Guardians versus Athletics. No run first inning bet, minus 159 on Barstool. Now, we won't lie to you. We do not like betting Nerfies this highly juiced, but we really liked it. It was not as juiced last night when we did our kind of research and stuff, and it's quietly become more juiced, and we don't blame people for jumping on this one. Now, there was an offensive explosion yesterday, especially, and same for that Nationals-Giants game, which combined for 18 runs. We aren't cashing a Nerfie in an 18-run game, but either way, these two teams combined for 5 first-inning runs yesterday, so it definitely has inflated their first-inning stats. Like, oh, these two teams score a lot of first-inning runs, but that's early in the season. Still in April, so those stats are a little bit inflated. Now, on the mound for the Athletics, Cole Ervin. He's got a nice flow, and he's been pitching pretty nice too. 3.32 ERA, 0-1 earned runs his last 2 starts. And we look at the Guardians bats. They are 7th in first inning runs. Like I said, they are a team that's obviously scored. Like I said, we're early in the season, so first inning stats aren't necessarily the most important. But I really like Ervin today to hold down the Guardians bats. What's about the other side of the mound, Logan?
Yeah, it's scheduled to be Shane Bieber, and we love to see an ace on the mound for our no-run first, and that's probably why it is juiced though. But Bieber, 3.22 ERA, I mean, really solid ERA on the year. Also, in his last 2 starts, 3-1 earned runs in each of his last 2. The 3, I mean, Bieber's a better pitcher. He got tired at the end of that. They asked him to pitch a lot of runs. Like you mentioned, the first inning stats for these two teams are inflated. Cleveland's 7th, Oakland's 8th. I mean, but this is just going to be a hopeful, good pitcher's duel. And all right, so a lot of people in the comments are like, Logan and Austin, can we have more no run first innings? Like, or can you talk about, some other ones you consider? Absolutely. Because I don't normally advise betting anything over like a minus 140, minus 150. So this is foreign territory for us. I just have to say that. But another one to look at, the Mariners versus Marlins one. You got 2 really solid pitchers there. It's one we considered, but I don't want to, double dip on that one because if Robbie Ray hosts batting practice, well, that's a quick 0-2 for calling our shot. So that's number 1. And then the other one I was also looking at was the Yankees-Royals one. Both decent value, middle of the pack. Nothing actually, this juice yet. But that's also one to consider if you are looking at, some solid no-run first innings, ones that we consider, but we just have to pick this one because we do think, there's no such thing as a sure thing no-run first inning. We got to say that. But this is as close as you're going to get on this slate.
100%, I agree with you. Hopefully, all those 3 NRFIs that you just gave out cash, but the only one we're counting for our official picks is Guardians Athletics, obviously Mariners money line, and Blue Jays money line. Those are our 3 official picks of the day. Let's go for 7 straight profitable days. We appreciate you guys as always for supporting the channel, and we will be back again on Sunday morning with some more favorite picks. We appreciate you guys as always. Calling our shot, 33,000 subscribers today. Go make it happen.